Thursday is a bit tough on me. I've been teaching since morning. All the BTech classes and MTech classes all on Thursday and Friday. Okay, so now we will begin with a new topic. But I want to begin with this because this is just like a story. Do not miss the classes uh, from now onwards. Okay, this is the main part of this whole course. Okay. All right, there will be no mathematics from now on. Okay, for today's lecture. So just understand, we will try to look at this MOSFET behavior from a very, very interesting perspective. How many of you are aware of this fluid dynamical analog? Have you heard this? Anyone? Anybody taught you in your BTech, in your college, in the courses which you are doing in BITS?
Drain
Anybody?
current related modeling, right, sir?
First of all, it's not a modeling only. It's just a perspective of looking into the MOSFET behavior. Okay. So the reason why I want to discuss this, because the reason why I'm just continuing it rather than delegating it for tomorrow's lecture is that I do not want to spend time on this because this is not a modeling as such. इसमें क्या होगा कि
Sir, taps,
हाँ
tap
sorry
analogy.
sorry
Taps, tap, sir, tap.
it's somewhat
Tap analogy
like
we use.
tap analogy. It is kind of more generalized here. This is kind of more, this analogy is more, has to do with tanks rather, lot of water. Okay, so let's begin this. You can tell me if it is kind of related, or you already know this or not. So many of you may not know. All right, so this is a classical fluid dynamical analog. So first and foremost is that this is valid only for, okay, for large MOSFETs which does not have any uh, quantum mechanical things over here. So you cannot use tunnel affinities analysis using this. You cannot describe the tunnel affinity using this particular analogy. You cannot use FinFETs for this analogy. So this is only for the classical, what you can see with your eyes. Okay, so that way it becomes easier, because when you are designing circuits, then at least this will always keep, it will give you a physical feel for what is going on inside the MOSFET. Okay, very good. Let's begin. So the first thing is that, oh, sorry. The first thing is that, let us suppose you have got a reservoir. So this is the reservoir, which is the source reservoir. Reservoir is like a tank, huh? And there is a dam. Okay. So under the normal condition, so this is the reservoir, which is a source. So this is a drain. Okay. And this bar which I have drawn is nothing other than a piston. Okay. Or the barrier. Okay. Now here we are essentially assuming that whatever uh, heights which we are referring over here is the analogous for that in the case of a MOSFET is the voltage potential. So this is the initial situation. Okay. Now if this Vs equal to 0 and Vd equal to 0, that means this is the water. Okay, many things will become clear in this particular picture. So this is the case where we are suggesting that this is the initial stage of the piston, right? So this is the value of Vg. Okay, now if this is the initial position, so let's say from here to here, we will define as the VGS. Okay. Or no, rather what we will say is that this is VG equal to 0. Let me put it like that. So from this position of the piston, original position of the piston, whatever we are pushing, that is VGS. Okay. So initially in this condition, what we understand is that since the drain reservoir and the source reservoir are at the same water level in both the drain and the source are the same, so we can say that VDS is equal to 0. Okay. At the same time, since VG is equal to 0 over here, as we said, the lower we push the piston, the VGS will go on increasing. All right. So in this situation, okay, in this situation, we can say that VGS is also equal to 0. So that means you have not moved any of the piston, either the piston or the drain reservoir levels. Okay. So this is the situation where there is no carrier flow is possible. So this is the case of equilibrium. Okay. That means you have not added any voltage or any sort of bias. That means there is no reason for the carriers to flow at all. Okay. So this is the initial condition. Initial condition. Nice, right? Okay. Now, in each of these cases, the first thing that we will try to visualize is, will there be any current or not? So obviously, if this is under equilibrium, no charge flow, no water flow. So water flow is what I will explain in terms of ID. ID is equal to 0. So there is no water flow. Okay. Now, we essentially move into the next scenario. Copy paste. This is the next scenario in which from here I have come to this one, in which I have simply increased the VD. So how is this VD moving? So okay, I'll again draw it here. So I have shifted this VD from here to a lower value. Initially it was at this level, right? It was aligned with the VS. Now it is much lower. Okay. So this voltage, I will put it as VDS. I'm calling it voltage VDS. That means VD with respect to the VS. Now, this situation, remember, if I am doing it, it is essentially I'm lowering the level of the water in the drain reservoir. But as I said, this is a situation of the dam, right? So the water is reduced in one side of the dam, but it really doesn't matter. First thing that you will understand is that, is it under equilibrium? Now I want you to open up your microphone and respond. इस सिचुएशन को आप इक्विलिब्रियम बता सकते हो या नहीं?
Yes, it is in equilibrium.
Why? Explain.
Like, there is no movement, like
No movement in the carriers. Okay. So even though you have applied one bias, still there is no movement in the across the bed. So it is still under equilibrium. And since it is under equilibrium, again, I will emphasize on the expression of the current, which is ID equal to 0. Okay. So it is still under equilibrium. Now, what we understand is that, notice that no matter how much VDS you apply in this situation, you are never going to disturb the equilibrium of the system. Okay. right? So that means, what do we understand? That what do we understand is that, but okay, this is one scenario. But again, notice, since there is no water flow from the left hand side to the right hand side, but clearly you can understand that if it is allowed, if the piston is basically lower than this Vs, then water will be like with full force it will come to the right hand side, because the level of water on the other side of the dam is much lower, isn't it? But you have not applied any gate bias. So next situation. Now with an applied VDS, so applied VDS means even with the situation that the drain reservoir water level is lower, now we start pushing the piston. Okay, notice, if the piston is somewhere in the middle, you have applied some VGS, doesn't really matter. I know. Only when the piston comes down to the level of Vs, only then there will be a huge amount of water flow. So what is the situation? When will the water flow start? Okay, somewhat like this. Makes sense. Remember, Vs is as it is. So what we understand is that this is the condition that even if you have applied the VDS, water flow will not begin unless and until you have applied this much amount of VGS, and this is called the VT. Okay, now comes a very important part to understand. So here, can we say that ID is equal to 0? Notice that in this case, VDS is greater than 0. ID is equal to 0 in this one. Over here, what is the situation? VDS is still greater than 0. And VGS is equal to VT. Okay. What will be the value of the current? Tell me.
very much minimal.
Minimal, exactly. Why is that? मिनिमल भी क्यों हो रहा है? ये तो जीरो होना चाहिए, राइट? Guess.
Minority.
No. MOSFET is a majority effect device, right? Bolo? Just think about the analogy with case of a standard MOSFET. So when the VGS is almost equal to VT or slightly lesser than VT, it is called the subthreshold conduction, right? So subthreshold conduction means the what you have said is correct. It will be the minimal amount of current flowing, right? So minimal current भी कहाँ से आ रहा है?
So diffusion.
Exactly, awesome. Whoever it was. So notice, why will there be a diffusion? Because number of water molecules on the left side is much more than the number of water molecules on the right side. Okay, so it will be because of diffusion. So in fact, we will later on see, when we will be developing the entire physics based model, when we will be developing the physics based model for subthreshold conduction, you will notice that subthreshold conduction is developed with the help of diffusion only. Okay, very good. So diffusion means the water molecules or water vapors will essentially move like that. So you can clearly understand that water molecules, water vapors moving through like that will be minimal only. Okay, so that means ID is not equal to 0, but it is sub threshold. I'll write sub VT operation. That is due to diffusion of what? water vapor or precipitation. This is only called precipitation. Okay, now this part we have seen. Now the last part is that this part is pretty much clearly known to you. Water will fall. Okay, so red color VDS, and here what is the situation? Remember, from here to here was VT. यहां से यहां तक क्या है? VOV. So it means that in this scenario, what is the situation? Of course, VDS is greater than 0. वो तो होना ही है. VGS is now greater than VT. VOV is positive. Okay? So VOV is what? Overdrive, everybody knows. Gate overdrive, VGS minus VT. Cool. So that means this is a piston. Okay. So what we understand is that in this scenario, current is very high. Okay. Now this is due to the drift. Nice. So here, what is the conclusion? What are the conclusion? The conclusion is that keeping VDS constant, okay, unless and until you apply a VGS which is higher than VT, you are not going to get a current. And also the current which you have got, one major thing is that notice that if you increase this VOV, ठीक है, अगर VOV को बढ़ाते हो, then what will happen? More and more current will flow. Yes or no? Say yes. Huh? So that means if this VOV is very less, like in this case, VOV was 0. In that case, the current was minimal, as one of you have rightly said. So that means that was only for the subthreshold conduction, diffusion of water vapor. Now, in case of drift, what is happening is you are essentially allowing the water to gush through. But the only thing is that the rate of the water flow is essentially dependent on this opening in the dam. So that means we can also write that ID is proportional to VOV. Okay, everybody? Huh? अभी देखो. Now it is not under equilibrium. So यहाँ पर भी equilibrium था. Okay, I'll just copy paste here. Equilibrium होना ही है. Current was 0 anyway. Okay, so this was one approach, one way of going at it. Now suppose we increase यहां से लेकर पिस्टन को काफी बढ़ा रहे हैं, इतना बढ़ा है कि basically the piston is now lower than the VDS. So it is now something like this situation. Okay, so this is your VDS. I'm not drawing this VT part anymore. So what is this? This is your VOV. Okay. Then notice that if you are increasing the VOV even further, does it increase the current? Tell somebody. This is the reason why we should have physical classes. Bolo, bolo.
No, it won't increase.
It won't increase, right? So what will it depend on in this scenario? The water flow will be dependent on the VDS height. Yes or no? So in this situation, we are still getting this kind of relation. VDS is greater than 0. VOV, let me write like that. Okay. Now, when is this situation happening? VOV is not only greater than 0, it is actually greater than VDS. So when VOV becomes greater than VDS, then something interesting happens. So clearly this is the condition where this is true. Okay. What was the condition over here? VDS greater than VOV greater than 0. So when VDS was greater than VOV greater than 0, under this condition, ID was proportional to VOV. When this appears, then ID became proportional to what? VDS. Okay. So this region, in case of the actual MOSFET, what do we call this?
Saturation.
Saturation.
Socho, ID proportional to VDS.
Linear.
Exactly. This is the linear region of operation. And notice then in the previous case, what will you call it? It is proportional to VOV.
Saturation.
Okay. What happens is this also happens to be this is both saturation as well as linear. We will understand that in case of um, like actual MOSFET, there is something called channel length modulation, right? All those effects are not there in case of the classical analog. So that is the reason why in case of saturation, it will turn out to be two things. In saturation, it is like this. In case of linear, remember it is proportional to VOV into VDS. Okay. So if you are speaking about the linear region का equation याद है ना? ID is equal to mu n C ox W by L. क्या था? VOV into VDS minus VDS square by 2. Let us not bother about it as of now. So basically, it is proportional to VOV as well as proportional to VDS. So what it means is the rate of the current flow, keeping all these things in mind, ID is proportional to VOV here. Therefore, so the rate of current flow or the rate of water flow to be exact is essentially proportional to ID for minimum of this VOV and VDS. Very, very important thing to understand. That means इन देखो VDS एंड VOV में जो भी कम था उसके हिसाब से इट वाज प्रोपोर्शनेट. सोच रहे हो ना? सोचो सोचो. Okay, everybody with me, right? So when VOV was less than VDS, but remember both of them have to be greater than 0. Okay, then what we observed is that the rate of water flow was proportional to the lesser of the VOV and VDS. Okay, in this case, what is the situation? The moment VOV becomes larger than VDS, then it becomes proportionate to the lesser of the VOV and VDS, that is VDS. So ID is proportional to minimum of VOV and VDS. Cool, right? All right.
So one thing like in the
Yes.
last scenario you mentioned current as a constant down sir, down scenario like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we consider it as linear mode, right? So how can both be there?
No, no, both are actually linear only because as I showed the equation, no, it will essentially be for the uh, for the low VDS part of the MOSFET operation, then gradually it will flatten out. So this is ID, this is VDS. It is not only proportional to the VDS, it is also proportional to VGS also. Remember, it's not VGS, it's VOV, VGS minus VT. I know. Mu n C ox, that equation I wrote. That will be VOV into VDS minus VDS square by 2. Later on we will understand there is a small factor here, small m, but anyways we'll ignore that as of now. So for small low VDS values, hmm, this part if you ignore, then you find it is just proportionate to both VOV and VDS simultaneously. And this again brings us to the very old concept which we have always been telling. Remember, mutually exclusive events. That's why it is a product. So that means what we are observing from the water level analog of the two reservoirs is that reducing the, I mean, pushing the piston below as well as and pushing the drain side water level below, both of them are mutually exclusive events. So that's why it is a product. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, now we will come to another scenario where what is the scenario what we have seen? We have kept the VDS constant and we have changed the VGS and we have tried to understand the behavior. Okay. Okay. So this was what we have understood, that ID is proportional to minimum of VOV and VDS. Now the next thing that we will do is we will go by another way. So the first thing that we will do is from this initial equilibrium case, we will bring the piston down, or let us say even we have put a VOV. This is going to be very interesting. So what is the scenario here? This is the piston. So VD is equal to 0. Vs is equal to 0. This is your VOV. So what is the situation? VDS is equal to 0. VGS is obviously greater than VT. VOV is greater than 0. Current आएगा क्या?
No current flows.
No current flows. So what does it mean? Again, we are going to have the same damn equilibrium. Nice, isn't it? So what do we get? Again, the scenario is something very interesting. आप पहले हमने क्या देखा था कि अगर आपने VGS को अगर आपने VT नहीं डाला, so that means as long as you do not have a VOV. Simply put, people keep speaking about VGS, right? So the funny thing is that when you are dealing, when I am working as a device designer, I think in terms of VGS. But when I am thinking in terms of a circuit designer, I prefer to think in terms of VOV. That gives me a better picture, as I have shown over here. VOV के हिसाब से सोचना शुरू करो, overdrive के हिसाब से. So basically, whenever you are doing analog circuits or as well as digital circuits, always think in terms of VOV and VDS, VOV and VDS, VOV and VDS, not VGS and VDS. Okay. So in analog IC design, for example, Razavi's textbook and all that, you will notice that he is like, he is a master, international expert on circuit modeling. So he always speaks in terms of VOV. Okay. So this is still under equilibrium. So what we understand is that even though you have applied a VOV, you are not going to have any current. So that means equilibrium. There is no reason for any current flow from net, no reason for net current. Okay, very good. अब यहां से हम आएंगे नेक्स्ट सिचुएशन पे. VD को कम करते हैं. ओके, again piston. VOV is now constant. Okay, this is VOV is constant. However, now we are essentially concentrating on the VDS. Now, what is the current which you will be getting? The current will now be proportional to the VDS again. Okay? But how long will this continue? as long as VDS doesn't become equal to VOV. ठीक है ना? So what is the next situation here is that here is the piston and here is the, so this is your VOV and this happens to be your VDS. So this is a situation where VOV equal to VDS. This is often called the linear saturation boundary. ठीक है? So once we are having this, beyond that, so this is the piston again. So beyond that, what is the situation? If you reduce this VDS even more, okay, so from here to here is your VDS, which is greater than VOV. Will you get any current, any increase in the current? Huh? Hello?
No, 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 sir.
No increase in the current. So that means the water flow is still being determined by the VOV. Okay. So that means if you are thinking about the water flow, I am representing it as ID here. So when VDS reaches this VOV, uske baad se current becomes flat. So this is the origin of the saturation region. Got it, right? So what we understand is that the moment VDS becomes higher than VOV, you are essentially getting a saturation current. Okay. So when it is in the saturation current, what we realize is that, does it mean that the current is always saturated? I mean, always constant? No, it depends on the VOV now. Why? Remember this funda. Okay. The moment VDS has become higher than VOV, then VOV is lesser than VDS, obviously. I mean, this is the meaning of it, right? Then ID becomes proportionate to VOV, not VDS anymore. Okay. So what do we understand in this particular, I mean, this small discussion which we have done? Very, very eye-opening discussion. It simply means that this is the net idea. It means whether the current will happen or current will flow or not will always depend on on the minimum of the VOV and VDS. And then VOV and VDS both should be positive. Okay. Remember, current is possible only when, but whether it is proportional to VOV or whether it is proportional to VDS depends on whichever is lesser between VOV and VDS. Okay, na? But at the same time, so when we say that it is saturated, remember saturated, it is in the ID VDS. ये constant दिख रहा है यहाँ पर. The moment you change the VGS value, आपका ज़्यादा current आ जाएगा. So this increase is happening with the change in the VOV. है ना? So that means here we are plotting ID as a function of VDS. तो इसीलिए यहाँ पर ये saturation आ रहा है, क्योंकि the moment VDS has increased below this particular value, above this, beyond this particular value, which is the VOV for this particular case, जब भी VDS VOV से ज्यादा हो जा रहा है, तब क्या होगा? ID will become proportional to VOV. As a consequence, it is not dependent on VDS anymore. That is the reason why we see that the current is like stabilized or saturated. Okay, see the fun over here. This is something very interesting. मतलब हम लोग सोचते हैं ना saturation के बाद current constant हो जाता है. नहीं, constant दिखता है. It appears to be constant because it is a variation with respect to VDS. So the moment VDS crosses this VOV limit, okay, that is the linear boundary, linear saturation boundary, then current is dependent on VOV. As I told you, it is minimum of VOV and VDS. VDS तो VOV से बढ़ गया, ज़्यादा हो गया, then it will become proportional to VOV only. Getting me? Huh? Awesome, right? So it's like a fun. MOSFET is like my favorite subject. So now notice कि ये VDS VOV से जब ज्यादा हो जा रहा है, ID becomes proportional to VOV. Again, when you are reducing VDS, suddenly you have become lowered. VDS is lower than VOV. Then it becomes proportional to VDS. Minimum of VDS and VOV. Interesting, right? Now, when we are dealing with the ID VGS, पहले हमने जो ID VGS किया था, again the same thing. VGS जब तक VT के पास नहीं जाता, it is under equilibrium, so no current. Okay, so or else instead of this VGS, I can even plot in with respect to what? I'll plot with respect to VOV also. Then VOV is equal to 0 over here. Okay, is the translation of the axis. Okay, now what is the situation? देखो, after VGS crosses VT, or else VOV crosses 0, increases beyond VOV, then what is happening? So what is the situation here when VOV is slightly higher? Okay, यहाँ पर हम लोग यहाँ पर VOV ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, VDS is constant. Then the moment VOV is slightly higher than 0, okay, then what do we understand? VOV is slightly higher than 0. That means this situation, VDS is much larger than VOV. So the current will be proportional to what? Minimum of VOV and VDS. Correct? Now, later on, when, so this is a situation, it will just go on increasing. Before that, again, the same thing. It is appearing like 0 because it is in the linear scale. इसीलिए ये small diffusion current is not even visible. Later on, when we think about the subthreshold conduction, we will relax this linear scale and we will make it logarithmic. तब आपको दिख जाएगा कि अरे यार यहाँ पर तो काफी current है. So in modern technology, when we are designing for low power, we will primarily design our circuits less than VT. Okay. Very good. So now let's come back over here. So what is the situation? Remember, VOV is less than VDS. That means VDS is less. So this is basically what region? Saturation region. Saturation region, maybe it is proportional to VOV, right? In actual MOSFETs, we see that because of channel length modulation, it is VOV square. But however, it is proportional to VOV, that is for sure. So this is proportional to VOV in this region. Then ये बढ़ता जाएगा. Remember, this is the saturation region. Linear saturation boundary कब आया था? When VDS equal to VOV. So VDS equal to VOV. So in the VOV axis, when VOV becomes equal to, let us say here, this is VDS. When VOV equal to VDS, yeah, VGS will be equal to, देखो, VOV equal to VDS means VDS equal to VGS minus VT. So VGS is equal to VDS plus VT. So what is this condition over here? This is VDS plus VT. ठीक है? इसके बाद से क्या होने वाला है? ये तो सैचुरेशन हो गया. इसके बाद से क्या होने वाला है? Linear, exactly. Why linear? Because after that, when VOV, we are plotting VOV over here. So VOV has exceeded VDS. Okay? So if VOV is higher than VDS, ये वाला फंडा, this concept, do not forget this. So ID is proportional to minimum of VOV and VDS. So the moment VOV crosses VDS line, it becomes proportional to VDS. So ID proportional to VDS is linear. Okay, na? So after that, it will become linear. Sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Like this model doesn't explain, this analogy doesn't explain the square, right?
No.
So
No. It
Like
doesn't. It's
what?
simply because this is the fluid dynamical model coming from classical phenomena. So the whole objective of this two approaches, where you are one is moving the piston down, the other one moving the drain reservoir level down. In both these approaches, we essentially arrive at this particular relation, which you should always keep in mind. That will help you immensely when you are designing circuits. So when you are intuitively designing circuits, it's not always necessary for you to. So there are two things. One is a circuit analysis. The other one is a circuit design. जब आप डिजाइन करते हो ना, so in the first hand designs you don't often have to figure out the exact values, so you don't have to do the modeling of the circuits per se. Okay, so uh, what you have to rather think about is the conception is important. That is that will help you to design the circuits, and then whether the circuit is okay or not, the analysis of the circuit, the modeling of the circuit, all those things will come later. पहले तो सर्किट डिजाइन करना है, राइट? तो सर्किट डिजाइन के लिए this concept is very very helpful. We will see that if I'm teach, and this is much more important in analog circuit design. And to be honest with you, analog circuit designs are the real circuit designs. Digital is much simpler. So VLSI design जो आप कर रहे हो ना, this is like ABCD basically. That is not even. So in your interviews you will find all the questions will be asked from advanced VLSI design, where we are essentially putting in the constraints. VLSI design में क्या कर रहे हो? You are probably using Verilog or something. You are getting some full adder characteristics and you are happy. You are doing LT spice, right? उससे काम नहीं बनेगा. Okay, so we have to do the analysis with the constraints. कि इतना power है. Given this power budget, you have to operate at that particular high frequency. Then it becomes challenging, and that is what you have to do in industry also. So now the point is, so for those kind of designs, this will help you a lot. But the main analog circuit designs are much more complicated, way more complicated than the standard VLSI design. Okay, so that is the reason if I'm teaching analog IC design next semester, then basically this will be really helpful. But for digital VLSI also, this is, I mean, still, I mean, because you know, digital means basically you are using it as a switch. So um, it's not difficult unless you give the constraints. Huh, Akash, please tell me.
Sir, in VLSI design subject, we have learned the unified current model in which in the formula we take the VD minimum.
Hmm.
So there are actually three voltages. So when velocity saturation is also there, then by the same concept it will come into the picture. Na?
Actually, this unified current model उसने derive किया था? I don't think so.
Means sir, in book Rabe we also studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rabe also just mentioned it as an equation, right?
Yes, just
Yeah.
equation, sir.
Hmm.
From
Actually,
this we have understand what is in
sorry.
so sir, now we have I understand that what is the picture behind that formula.
No. I mean, this is only the physics. So कल से class में regular आया करना. We will understand the MOSFET much more depth. Okay.
Yes.
So we are not going to go into that equation. Acha, one important thing, it's already 6 o'clock. So one very important thing for everyone to ponder. एक चीज बताओ. This is a typical very important question. Anybody can ask in interviews and all. At least I ask. All the electronic devices, as you know, they are all non-linear devices. Okay, diode is an exponential function. आज ही हमने किया है. IV relation कहाँ है? E to the power of V by phi t. It's an exponential variation with V. Okay. MOSFETs, we know saturation region में, it is in the saturation region, it is square law, VOV square. Linear region में VOV into VDS. Correct. In the subthreshold region, it is exponential, just like the diode. Okay, we will see that. Now the point is, it is definitely not linear, yaar. Then ये थेवेनिन नॉर्टन बेसिक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के इलेक्ट्रिकल थ्योरी, ये फिर क्यों क्यों पढ़ते हैं हम लोग? ये सब जंक है ना फिर. You cannot apply the circuit theory over here because all the circuit laws, Thevenin, Norton, maximum power transfer, Teligence, Millman's theorem. Acha, all of you know all this, right? Millman's theorem, Teligence theorem, maximum power transfer, cut set, huh? Tie set, two-port network. अरे यार
Yes, sir.
ऐसे
Yes,
मत
sir.
करो, ऐसे मत करो यार, आप लोग हायर डिग्री हो. नहीं तो फिर सर्किट थ्योरी करवाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. सो नाउ द पॉइंट इज ऑल दो सर्किट थ्योरी आर फॉर लीनियर सर्किट्स. तो all the electronic devices are non-linear, 100% non-linear. Then does it mean that we cannot apply the circuit theory over here?
Certain region will be linear, no sir, like
The
small.
piecewise linear, do we consider?
Yes, very good. I'm so happy that you are aware of this. Believe me, for the students who had come for PhD interviews recently and last year, I mean regularly when they come, I ask this for the PhD aspirants who want to do PhD and they cannot answer this. I'm so glad, I'm really happy with you guys that you could answer it. It's called piecewise linear circuits. That is the reason why we are bothered about making this. We are considering this as a, this is linear, this is saturation. Okay, so what does it essentially mean is that linear means it is basically an ohmic region. It will behave like a resistor. Here what is happening, it is like flat. That means it is behaving like a, what is it?
Constant source.
Current source.
Voltage controlled current source, correct? Which is VDS, this is ID. But VDS has no control. What is being controlled? With the VOV. So it is basically a VOV controlled ID. The voltage controlled current source. We usually refer to it as voltage controlled current source, VCCS. So what is this voltage here? This is the VOV. VOV is controlling the current source. Okay, na? So that is the reason, that is how you make the equivalent circuits. So coming back to what Akash was asking, that is a very nice question. Whenever we are having this entire MOSFET equation valid, which is valid for all the regions of operation, what they do is they will try to, it's more like an academic exercise to be honest. So they want to have an equation which will be valid over here. तो हम लोग वहां पर validity कैसे करते हैं जानते हो? We say that this is one equation, the other equation is this. So यहाँ पर जो issue है ना, it's not a pointed one, right? यहाँ पर वो fitting करते हैं, ठीक है? They just fit it like that. Okay? So this fitting function is kind of arbitrary. इसका कोई physics नहीं है. So whenever you are designing a circuit, you will either consider this linear plot or you will consider this constant plot. So whenever you are designing analog circuits, you will say that, okay, we will be designing all the analog circuits in the saturation region. Yes or no? हम हमेशा saturation region ही करते हैं, right? So there are various reasons for that, of course. You आपका R out ज़्यादा हो जाएगा and all that. Okay, very good. Now this is the linear region. Okay. So whenever you are designing circuits or you are designing analog circuits specifically, then you are bothered about the transfer of the resistance from this linear region to the saturation region. Saturation region mein obviously it is a current source, so internal impedance of the current source is always infinity, almost like very very high. So that is the reason why it is very high over here. That's why it is called transfer resistor. Either ohmic region se saturation region tak ja raha hai. So it is a switch. Digitally, it is a switch between 0 and 1 states. Correct? Cutoff and saturation. In case of analog application, it is a switch between low resistance to high resistance state. तो वहां पर high resistance मतलब cutoff नहीं है, वहां पर high resistance मतलब saturation region है. Okay, so when we are designing analog circuitry, we are bothered about this particular part, which is the linear saturation boundary. Okay, na? Whenever we are designing with digital logic, we are concerned about this logic, this value of VOV. Sorry, I'm sorry. यहाँ पर whenever we are designing the digital circuits, we are essentially bothered about whether VGS is higher than VT or lower than VT. ठीक है? For power consumption issues in digital, we will again look into whether it is in saturation or linear. That is different. But digital काम करेगा, मतलब logic wise it will be okay if your VGS is higher or lower than VT. So this variation is for digital operation. This variation is for your analog operation, analog and linear and saturation region पे. समझ में आ रहा है? Huh? So when you are designing with the analog circuitry, it's a matter of switching between on state off state नहीं. In digital, we are bothered about this on state off state. Okay, this is digital IC design. Analog IC design में it's a question of switching between the low resistance and high resistance states. Low resistance मतलब linear region, high resistance मतलब saturation region. Okay, so in either cases, it is always switching the resistances. Okay, so that means it is called transfer resistance or transistor. Transfer resistor से transistor आता है. So basically you are having transfer resistor. So transistor. This word transistor comes from these two states. Whether you are applying for digital or analog, you are essentially getting the transfer of resistances in the two states. One is the this low and high resistance states. Okay. So the model which you saw in Rabe's textbook, that is essentially combining these two regions of operation with a fitting function in between. Okay, but that is mostly from an academic perspective, because in reality, when you are designing circuits, you have to bother about the saturation region only, या फिर cutoff region only. Correct. So the piecewise continuous, not linear, piecewise continuous circuits are only piecewise continuous models are only what will be more important for you from the circuit designer's point of view. Okay. Who asked that question? I forgot.
Clear?
Yeah. Good. ठीक है. So it was a nice introduction. So clear आया ना? देखो हमें ये वाला याद रखना हमेशा. This is going to be really helpful when you are intuitively designing the circuits. So for the mathematical modeling and all, वो तो है, कल से ही शुरू करेंगे MOSFETs. ठीक है? But tomorrow's lecture will be on contact potentials again. Okay, the contact potential which we did for the diodes were basically very basic. Now we will include metal, oxide, semiconductors and all that. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.